Nah, I tell you what, I like you and I want you. Nah, we can do that the easy way or we can do that the hard way. Just yours. Well, I don't think you and I will be doing anything any kind of way. Okay, I see you choosing the hard way. Okay, this is not working. Please just die already and give me my soul to avoid problems. Don't make me ruin that podcast, I'm a fully warrior. I did gardening work, crafted more materials. With the gathered items increased my stats. Discovered that I could sell items. Entered the hidden path in the gardens and earned a scroll.
Another secret way led me to a watered area where I collected more resources. Entered a labyrinth full of enemies that attacked from everywhere. And went through a room obtaining the ability of dive attack. Further ahead were some golden blocks, but I could not break them yet. I boosted my stats to be prepared enough to enter the final area called the Academy. In this place were some lamps that teleported me to other secret rooms with rewards.
The Academy was horrible.
They literally gave me no chance to breathe.
Each time I was dealing less damage to the enemies.
And there were more and more of them.
There were also parkours with invisible walls.
Despite they suffered a lot, I managed to reach the next level, which consisted of ascending to the top.
Caught some sheep for the village. Behind the secret wall I found some of these rare bottles. This girl was waiting for me at the summit, but she did not tell me anything important. I do not think she was even important to the story. I learned how to rise peaks, discovered a weird plant. I reached what seemed to be the final area of the academy, but I quickly realized I needed more skills. I realized I could possess the cats without killing them, but at the time I did not know the purpose. I tried to face the boss, but it was useless. I was still too weak. I got the double jump in the volcano. At the top was a lamp that teleported me to a puzzle very easy to solve, obtaining the ability to break the golden cubes. Once I had these abilities, I was able to unlock the areas that were inaccessible before. I got more scrolls, took a secret path that led me to a completely new area in the volcano. I kept moving, defeating more enemies and finding more scrolls and bottles which were actually weights. Then I reached a zone filled with souls, parkour and monsters, and I could not help but compare it to the Path of Pain. It was clear the developers tried to create their own version of the Path of Pain, but it did not work out and they ended up creating this abomination. But then I realized that all of this was a test to see if I was ready for what was coming. At the academy I crossed a door leading to an area called Surface, which consisted mainly of battle arenas. There I had to face all the enemies in the game, much like the pantheons of Hollow Knight, but with less budget. Yet it was necessary to prepare myself for the boss fight. I bought all the facilities I was missing. At the very top of the academy lay the final area, the most vast and dangerous of all. An nonsensical place and illogical corridors, as if the world itself were cracking apart. It was here that I obtained the last artifact I needed. Thought it was very useless because only improved underwater mobility. But since the area was so large, there were also many temporary buffs. I gathered them all until I could not take any more. Then I headed to the boss with everything I had. The fight was very easy since I was too overpowered at that point, but something was not right. The witch was not there, only her marionettes, and there was no trace of my soul anywhere. When I returned to the village, the villagers voiced their concerns, all about the same thing. There was something in the sky, a rift, one that had appeared when I defeated the replicas. I built a staircase to the sky to see what it was all about, and when I reached the top, I saw it with my own eyes. It was not an exaggeration. It was truly a rift tearing through reality itself, and it seemed to lead somewhere, but whatever it was, I did not feel ready to see what lay beyond. I had officially entered the endgame. I discovered that when I gave gifts to the villagers, they gave me jewels. Even though these had no inherent value, I could combine them at a place called the Jeweler's Shop. The jewels granted specific special abilities based on their color, and the more I combined them, the more powerful they became with each level. I also set out to find the rest of the divine weights. This served to alter the spawn probability of the spells I found in each area. I built the most important facilities in endgame, the altar to summon monsters in exchange for items, the pens to house the monsters, and the Grand Cauldron, which literally made me question my own morality. I could cook monsters. Yes, it was here that I learned how to play. All this time I had been literally stuck for days because I did not know this mechanic existed, but what really shocked me came next.
I could cook animals too, but it was not like in Minecraft where you kill them and then cook the meat. You literally have to throw them into the boiling cauldron and cook them alive. It was like crabs, they never did humanity any harm, and still, they received all their hate. This really hit my principles, but then I remembered that it's just a game, son. Don't be fucking. At this point, all I wanted to do was to blow my scrotum off with a sawed-off double-barreled shotgun. But as if that were not enough, I discovered a craftable potion that gave me 90% of chance for every boss to drop a crystal. These crystals were needed to finish upgrading the pillar so I would be strong enough to enter the rift. That meant facing every boss in the game all over again. I do not recall the exact number, but I needed about 5 crystals of each color. 20 crystals in total. That implied defeating 20 bosses. 20 men! 20! But since the drop rate was 90%, there was also a 10% chance of getting nothing. That meant going back to the same 4 areas, killing the boss, repeat, go to the next, repeat, and I found out that by possessing cats, they could drop some of the missing items for the pillars when defeating enemies. Finally, I managed to upgrade the necessary jewels to mythic level. Having all 3 equipped, if I approached to the shopkeeper in the gardens and spoke to them, they would interpret it as a challenge to fight. The shopkeeper was the secret boss. I went to face them after defeating the final boss, but I showed it earlier to keep things organized. The fight was very difficult since I had to defeat them in record time. They had a wide variety of attacks and moved to spots where I could not reach them, and they had an attack that took away almost all my HP, but with perseverance, I managed to take them down. Finally, I crafted a potion that would activate upon my death. It would summon a crystal to revive me and boost my attack power by 99%. It did not guarantee victory, but it was a last resort that would buy me more time. I had finally reached the end of my adventure. Everything will be decided within the Mana Rift. More than just a new area, it was actually a place offering various upgrades of all kinds. Spells, grimoires, blessings, and HP boosts. If the witch was still nearby, she was surely there. The strongest sorcerer in the story versus the strongest sorcerer today. So, let me see if I understood. At the start of the story, the ancient witch stole the witch's soul to renew her immortality and spread chaos across the kingdom, summoning the monsters that appeared throughout the entire game. However, something went wrong, and a half of the witch's soul became trapped in the hat, unable to die and getting the ability to possess bodies. When the witch's body and the hat fell from the academy, the hat possessed her body to keep it alive. During the game, the hat became more powerful, eventually rivaling the ancient witch. Upon defeating the final boss, which was the source of the curse devastating the kingdom, the other half of the witch's soul reclaimed her body. Since the hat held the other half of her soul, it did not disappear. Instead, it became her companion. What do I think about this game? A complete waste of time, of my life. Honestly, I thought it was a good game when I played the demo, and when the official version came out, I tried to love it, or at least convince myself that I did. But no matter how much I tried, I just could not. I hated it from beginning to end. Keep in mind that I played this game in its release, so there were no guides, tutorials, or wikis. It was literally just me against a game that I did not understand. It is an excessively and unnecessary repetitive game. This game caused me so much anxiety because of the way they extended the gameplay hours to compensate the lack of content. It was literally 72 hours of pain. Even so, I managed to complete it. I think the curse of the game and its main symbolism is the loss of identity. That is not just when the body stops moving. It is also when you forget your name, when your own existence becomes blurred, when you keep walking without knowing if you are still yourself. Throughout the game, we play as a hat, carrying the incomplete existence of a witch who lost her soul, a witch unable to move forward on her own. While she sought to reclaim what she had lost, the hat sought something it never had, a place to belong. It hid behind the lives of others, using bodies that were never truly its own, trying to find a reason to exist. The witch regained her consciousness, her will to live, and her free will. She remembered who she was, but she was never the same again, not after everything she had come through. The hat did not lose its purpose, because it discovered that it did not need to steal a life to have its own life. The witch discovered that she did not simply need to retake what she had lost, because even after losing herself, she could still rebuild herself from the remaining shards. What began as a curse ended up becoming a bond, and both beings found a reason to keep walking together. As long as a part of us still remains in the world, we will never be dead. Maybe that was the true meaning of Nevergrave.